Good morning. It's good to see you again. Today is Saturday in Ghana. Yeah, it's morning, and as you can see, I'm on the field today doing some clearing for a family in North Carolina. And 3 days ago or 4 days ago, I made a video, laying out the process to follow when you want to acquire land at Ajedam, not far from Asebu and Pan-African Village. Yeah, you can even take a walk from here to Asebu town. It will take you like 15 minutes walk to Asebu town. And 4 days ago, I was on my other side, the left side. When you check the hill side there, that's where I was 4 days ago, laying out some procedure. And people didn't. Okay, it seems like we had a problem with the sound. So I promise that as I will be working today, clearing 8 plots here, I will be repeating some of the things that I said that many people didn't hear. Yes, we've started the process of clearing the land. What we did was to compensate the farmer. As you can see, yeah, many a times when we send the video, you see bushes and all that, but this trees, some of the trees around here are acacia trees, and it's used for manufacturing of charcoal, or they use it as firewood. So it's a form of like livelihood for these farmers. They harvest them, sell them, or produce charcoal out of it. We have some fruit trees, few fruit trees around as well. And with this particular farmer, particular client, she has decided that we should leave some of the fruit trees, orange and lime, on her plot. So we are going to do that in terms of, leaving some of the fruit trees for her to use when she builds her house and all that. So as I said to you, there's a process to follow if you want to buy a land from here. There are documentations to follow and all that. What we normally do here is, when I assist you to acquire the land, after paying for the land, we have people who will come and demarcate the plot for you. So that's what we basically do. When they come and demarcate the plot for you, it comes with a fee, not much, but it's a form of also like a token that you give them for doing the measurement and all that. And when that is done, the next thing is for you to compensate the farmer regarding how many fruit trees or acacia trees are there. Sometimes you realize that they've chopped the tree off and it's growing again. They still count it, because for them, they see it as tree having life, and they will definitely harvest it again. So we negotiate and compensate the farmer. Another crucial thing also is, in terms of documentation, I think that's what many calls that I receive from the state and Europe is about. How do you go about the documentation? I have some documents there that I'm going to show you. This one is for a Ghanaian, and when his indenture is done, I will call. When you buy the land, when I assist you to buy a land, I'll call a surveyor, and the surveyor comes and survey the land, and then start with the process of the site plan and then the indenture. We have two types. We have what deeds of lease. When you receive this from a surveyor, it's correct. Some surveyors use deed of lease, others also uses an indenture. It's all, some terms of the same thing. And when you look here, you can see that there are times that people will also ask you, hey, Ato, what about the land search and all that? So I have a land search here, lands commission document that's, we did a search for the person. And for you to be sure of this land hasn't been sold to anyone, when this application for an official search, the result is out. This is what is written on the document. It's one, it states the site is not a state land. Two, it stated here that the whole site is not affected by any recorded transaction based into bracket based on topo. So it's a confirmation. This one I did it for someone at Onyaba. It's a confirmation that it's not been registered in anyone's name. Yes, I've done the search. Now, people are asking in terms of years. When we started, we were confused because some of our surveyors will say, oh, you can do 99 years, or you can do 50 years and all that. So my surveyor last week called me to his office and informed me that they had a meeting, like a conference, surveyors within the region. And then what the Lands Commission insisted them to do is that they should try, or they should enforce the law regarding the 50 years for the diasporans, or our brothers and sisters who are from the other state or other countries, that they should enforce the law and make sure that the agreement that has been stated by the government is in terms of 50 years is stated in this document in terms of the indenture. So I will appeal to you. It was our wish that most of you or all of you would have got the 99 years, but we have to enforce the law so that you also be safe. Because if you don't do that and you take the document to land, in case you decide, because it's an optional, if you decide to take your indenture to go for a land search like what I've stated or I've showed you here. When you take it there and your ID copy is attached to the indenture and you submit it and they find out you bear the United States and all that, meaning we've gone out of, in terms of the law, we were not following the law and all that. So I am appealing to you that let's stick to the 50 years. The 50 years is renewable. It's only that many a times there's not much layout in terms of how you're going to do regarding the renewal and all that. One good thing is that when you start staying, or when you build your house, or you develop the land and you are here, it's something that you can bring it out and then you discuss with the chief, because they have customs and all that they follow. So it's not going to be a challenge that after 50 years, if you are no more and your grandchildren or your children inherited the land, they are going to throw you out. No, it's a matter of renewing it and still keeping your land. One thing that I was also told is that when you obtain your citizenship whilst you are living on the land and all that, within 10 or 20 years or 5 years, I've seen people within 5, 3, 4, or even 2 years through this year of return and all that, they've obtained their citizenship. You can follow up through the surveyor and do the change in terms to make it 99 years. Now, after doing that, the Ghanaians are given 99 years, and then the foreign nationals or the diasporans, our brothers and sisters in the other part of the world, are given 50 years. So I want to lay it out to you. When that is done, you keep your indenture, right? You keep it, and then when you want to start building, it's very important. It's very important. Even though I haven't seen much houses being cautioned or the municipal assembly coming around to put a notice, stop work, produce a permit. We have to enforce the law. If we all want to build a better Ghana, we have to insist and do the right thing. For example, I did obtain a building permit from the district for a client. And this is how it looks like at Onyaba, the other side that I'm building. So what do you need when you are going for building permit? This is proposed residential, what the Americans call your blueprint or your architectural drawing. They go through that, they will demand this. My architect did 4 copies of this and submitted all of them there. They took copies and then they gave one original back. So they go through that and then they will visit the site where you are building to check if all that you've laid down in that procedure. So they will come and check the site and see if it's not a waterlog, if you are not building in the waterways and all that is very important. When they are satisfied with that, they are issued you with the building permit. So when you have the building permit, what I normally do is I write the permit number on the fence wall or the building walls be on it, so that if any official comes around, they can see that we've obtained a building permit. They will be constantly visit the site to see that the layout and everything that you stated in your proposed blueprint or the architectural drawing, you are following that. One thing also is, as you can see, we are busy clearing this land. We are leaving fruit trees. We are going to leave as much trees as we can, because we need to maintain the vegetation, the greenery, the serenity of the area. If you are here, you will feel the fresh air, the breeze, and all that. And that's so important, because as much as we want to develop the land, we cannot clear everything from the land. As a conservationist, agriculturist, in terms of one of my fields, studied for that, I always encourage my client to, as much as possible, even after clearing the land, please plant more trees around. Fruit trees specifically, because you're going to benefit from it, or shade trees, so that we'll continue to maintain that. This is after we've cleared this. What we are going to do is we are going to put up a borehole, and then if you give me a call, I'll tell you in terms of how much a borehole is. And in the video that I did before this, I did stated that people are asking questions in terms of what happens when the land is not developed after 2 years. Is the land taken away from me or not? No, the land is not taken away from you. Rather, if you haven't developed it after 2 years, the chief and his elders will decide to take you far. If where you are, where your current plot is on phase 1, they will take you probably to phase 2 or phase 3, so that they will allow those who are ready to build to work on the land. So you are not going to lose any land. They are not going to take the land from you like just like that, but they will take you far. And if you are not satisfied your money, they can refund your money to you. So this is some of the arrangements that the chief have. There's one thing also that I want the diasporans to do. I've got a team that I work with. So as I'm assisting with acquiring the land, doing the indenture documents, the chief doesn't bear that cost. You bear it yourself. The clearing of the land, the chief doesn't do that, or it doesn't fall in the amount that you've paid for the land. You do that. In terms of the markers are people who comes around, take the measurement, and put a marking pillars, concrete marking pillars on all the boundaries of your land. The chief doesn't bear that cost. So you go through all this process. And the advice that I'm giving, as I say, I'm working with team that girls as well. Have friends, have American friends that you will be able to contact who are around, both in Cape Coast, Accra, or what. Try to establish that friendship so that time in and time out they will be monitoring or visiting the site to see that your work is being done. It's very important. Try as much as possible to ask people. Even with this chief here, he is so I won't say free, but very hospitable, that when you place a call and tell him your project is being done and all that, he doesn't mind coming around to even see, because that's his place that you are developing and he wants to see better development and all that. So bear it in mind that even if you don't have any American friend around or a neighbor that you talk to, and you can call the chief and ask him regarding your development, and he will be also be giving you a feedback. When we are done with the clearing, as I've indicated, the land search, the land search is not mandatory, it's optional. You can do that just to be sure of, but you cannot do the difficult part is you cannot do the land search without having a site plan. Many a times when I mention about a site plan, people get confused regarding what I'm talking about. This is a site plan in an indenture. It tells you the size of your plot, the layout, and all that on the paper. So Lands Commission will ask for this, a copy of this site plan, to do the search for you to see if no one has registered this land in their name or in a family name. So when you go there, as I indicated, and he stated that the land has not been registered in anyone's name, is safe. Or it's not a state land, it's not a government land also, you are safe. So before you even ask for the search and all that, you do that, unless the person tells you it's a freehold. For example, I bought it from Mr. A. He has already registered it with the Lands Commission, then I'm reselling it to you as well. It will be much better for you to find out if that changes has been done at Land Commission. Because if I've registered the land in my name and I'm selling it to you, I should be able to assist you to do the change at Lands Commission, so that when you go to Land Commission to do your own registration, you should find my name there as the person who sold the land to you, so that I will be able to change it from there. Now, this is what I'm going to tell you in terms of my services. When you place a call and I lay down all the procedure or the process to follow to acquire land, I assist you in terms of where you want the land. Some people want it on a flat ground, on a low ground. Some want it on a hilltop. When you check here, you can see that this a little bit on a hilltop. That's the choice of this customer. She chose to be like the others want a low land, others want top of the hill and all that. When you decide, they will give it to you. Some places you don't even choose or tell what you want, but here you decide exactly what you want. And then when you tell me, I start a process for you in terms of making sure that I inform the chief's office. I work autonomously. I don't work for the chief, but I work on your behalf. Like, I take whatever information, inquiries and all that, and take it to the chief's office and make sure that you have a smooth process when you want a land. Currently, a piece of land here costs 5,000 Ghana cedis, about 430 or 40 dollars. That's just for the land. And then with the compensation with the farmer, it depends on what we have on that land. Sometimes you pay lesser, Sometimes you pay higher. Like this place here, it's when we checked, we didn't have much fruit trees or even trees, even though they've chopped the trees, but they still count because when you bring the farmer, they say, oh, you can see my acacia tree is germinating, or after I chop it, it's still coming up and all that. So it's a matter of negotiating with them to give them something that they will be happy with. When all is settled and done, then we can start the process of clearing, putting balls and all that. So I do that. I will supervise on that, and I will also, in terms of supervise, to make sure that you get the exact measurement of plots that you are buying. So I will also see to it that you have your measurement, laid out well. And then from then I bring in a surveyor. He